In this video, we're gonna see an in-depth tutorial of the note-taking software Obsidian. At the end of the video, you will be able to take notes in Obsidian. You will know how to structure them, how to format an individual notes, how to connect notes between them, and overall, just to feel at home in the software, not to be lost in all the functions of the software. So here we go directly onto my computer screen. So the first step, obviously, is to download the software. And you can do that in obsidian.md, which is the link of the software, the link of the website. You can just click here on Get Obsidian for whatever your operating system is. I would just like to make a small pause in the video to talk to you about the pricing of Obsidian and of the different add-on services that you can add. So Obsidian, as you can see, is totally free. They promise it will be forever. And I don't know why they have a refund policy for $0, but whatever. And it will be always free because Obsidian is basically a software that you install on your computer, but like if you don't take any add-on options, you don't have any account in their servers. You don't cost them anything. You just download the software and you use it on your computer. Everything is stored locally. So that's why the software is free. It's basically because, it can be free because you don't cost them anything once you've downloaded the software. So this is the free Obsidian. You can also buy to support or have a commercial license or anything. But what's interesting is their add-on services. So you have two of them, Sync, which is $8 per month, or Publish, which is $16. Sync is something that will allow you, if you have multiple devices, for example, a computer, an iPad, an iPhone and stuff, to sync your node base, your vault as they call it, between your different devices. And this is obviously, in my opinion, the best syncing software that exists on a note-taking app. And like, I'm not sponsored or anything, but Sync is like really a great service because first it's end-to-end encrypted, meaning that basically it's the most secure thing you can do to upload your notes into an external server, even if you have personal details or data or anything. And also, because this is obviously the most important feature for you, there is a version history, meaning if you want to access a note from if you have a note that you edited 2 months ago, and when you go back on this note, you find like, oh, where is everything? I think I deleted by mistake half of the note whenever I closed it the last time. And so this is, well, obviously a bummer. So Sync allows you to get back to the version of your notes back to up to 6 months before. So you can just take a version of 6 months before, say, oh, this was the stuff I deleted. You just copy it and you paste it into the note. This way, so this is just a version history of your files. Great service. And then you have Publish, which is also a paid service, which allows you to host your base of notes online on a real website. So basically I've got mine, which is hosted by Obsidian Publish. And so you can just explore stuff and just go right here in the cooperation economy. You see this and you see, okay, this is interesting. And then what can I do also? Work is becoming more liquid. Okay, business, what is business? And then you can just explore and do a quick website like this, you know? So it's in French, obviously. So this is the Publish feature. Obviously, you don't need one or the other to use Obsidian. I used both of them. They're really good, really well made. Do not hesitate to pair for it if you're looking for a sync option. It will be obviously the most resilient one. But for me, I'm using Dropbox to sync everything between the different devices because, I've got some problems with resilience and owning my files, not depending on Obsidian, but never mind, this is something else. So now that we've seen this, let's go right into the software. So the first thing you will see when you go into the software is this little page right here. This is telling to you basically 3 options. The first one is open a folder as a vault. The second one is to create a new vault. And the third one is to get help. Those are the 3 options. What is a vault to start? A vault is the main folder on which every other stuff you create in Obsidian will be stored. So it's literally a folder in your computer in which everything is stored. So for example, I'm storing everything into Dropbox. So this is my Obsidian folder. And as you can see, every time I'm creating a new note inside of Obsidian, it's just right here. and you can see, okay, this was not a good note, a good example, but I'm just gonna go here. Everything I'm just capturing with it just goes into a text, a note inside of my computer. And this is wonderful because if I want, I can just open this note with another software than Obsidian if I want to edit it with another software. And I'm winning in resilience because I can access it even with other software. If one day Obsidian is just dead and all of my files are just stored locally on my computer. This is, in my opinion, just the best feature of Obsidian there. So a vault is the main folder on which all of your other folders are stored. So what you can do is also to create a new vault if you don't have one. So you create it, the name, and you pick a location. So if you want to sync it without paying, you can use Dropbox or iCloud if you're using Mac. Or you can just open a folder you already have at the vault. So for example, if you already have a system where you store everything which can be structured with, for example, my method, which is the PCRIG. You can just select the folder on which you have everything. And this way you can just open it and it will act as the main vault. So for this example, I'm just going to create an empty vault. And I'm just going to store it, for example, in my downloads. Okay, here we go, we create it. So this is the pop-up you might get or might not get depending on the time you watch this video. Live preview is what? Live preview is something that allows you to see in real time what you do to the syntax of your text. I will explain that a bit later, but I would suggest you to turn it on because it's a quite useful feature. So I'm just going to create a new files and I'm just going to take to paste the main outline of the video. So this is done, and then we're going to see the first action to do whenever you come into Obsidian. I would suggest the first action you do is just to click here on help and to go into the sandbox vault, because it's a really well-made base of notes, and this will allow you to just navigate into it and to learn by doing, you know. So first, okay, I'm interested in Obsidian, I have no prior experience, I don't want my notes to be seen by others, so this is something here, etc., etc. So I would suggest, if you want to get the end of the software, to just go into this help folder, this sandbox vault, and just to explore everything that is in it. I'm not gonna go too in depth of it because this is the goal of the video. But this was the first action to do, in my opinion. I learned by going into this vault, and I think you can do the same. Now let's see the general interface, starting right here by those buttons and then extending there to end by the main window, and we'll see how to create notes, format text, and everything. So the first button right here is the settings. We're gonna see them in depth after this little part right here, but it's really important to know that they are here, because in this software we're gonna use them often. For example, whenever you will want to have plugins or stuff. Help, we've seen that already, and open other vault is just the main interface. Okay, then right here you have a small window which allows you to expand or retract, collapse the window right here, which is the Explorer. Basically, if I create a folder right here that I'm going to call a folder, and I create, for example, a new note in it which is called test, you will be able to see that I'm literally creating a folder inside my folders. For example, if I go into my downloads and I see my test, which is like where I stored my vault, I can see that folder was created and entitled to. So this is the Explorer, which is basically some sort of finder if you're on Mac, or on the Files Explorer if you're on Windows. So this is like your File Explorer, and you can just select the note you want to edit right here and to add new notes right here, or to add a new folder. You can also change the sort order, but I will always recommend you to sort it from A to Z. And then you have the search bar, which is search inside the note. This is really confusing, but you have a first command that I'm going to tell you right now, which is Command O. You can also click here on the quick switcher, which is just going to search into the title of the note. So for example, test, I've got a note called test right here, and I can search it. But if I tap test right here, it will search among all of the content of the notes and search the keyword. So maybe the first note whenever I type test will not be the file name test, you know? It will be other stuff, other notes in which there is a lot of time the word test. So it's really important to note that this type of search is inside the notes, the content of the notes, whereas this search right here with Command O or Control O or this quick switcher is basically on the title of the note. So two important stuff to know. And then you have a lot of interesting options you can use. For example, if you have a tag, if you want to if you want to search test, then to search for this on separate, you can do it. Or you can just maybe just say, I want test blah 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 on the same line one after the other. So we'll see search in other videos more in depth. But basically you have to know if you don't find something by searching for it right here, if you find the search tab difficult, it's because you are looking for this tool right here, which is the quick search. But this is really powerful because you have a lot of search options, and once you master it, it's amazing. So we've seen the interface up to here, and then we're going to go right here. This is the preview. So basically, it's how to preview the Markdown. We'll see that in just a second, how to format text. This is to close, and then you have more options. The interesting options, well, everything is kind of explicit, you know, like speaks for itself, except maybe right here for open local graph and open backlinks. So Obsidian is structured into something we call bi-directional linking. To show you, I'm just going to show you a real, like my regular base. So for example, whenever I'm in a note, for example, this one, it's in French, I'm sorry. I've got right here the note, which is structured with links. So I can create in a note a link to another note. Like as in Wikipedia, you have the page, the page France, and I have a link to Paris, for example. The principle, the specificity of bidirectional linking is that in the Paris page, I can see that France has a link towards me. So for example, in this page, I've got one backlink, and the backlink is this book, which is called Introduction to Complex Thought. And I can see right here that this note right here has a link towards this note I'm on it. So if I was in the Paris note, for example, I could see that France has a link to me. So this is what a backlink is, and we'll see that in just a few seconds more in depth with how to create links. And also open the local graph. Basically, if I want to see visually all the links that exist, I can just click open local graph. I can see that everything is connected. And I can also add a little bit of depth to the graph, which is basically, for example, on LinkedIn, the person that know me is the first level of depth, and the person that know the person that know me is the second level of depth. And you can do the person that knows the person that know the person that know me, and you can do as much as you want. So this is depth 2, the nodes that are connected to the nodes that is connected to me. And so you can see all of these different information and just look at it visually. So this is really interesting. So those were the two important options right here. The other, export to PDF, and you can't see with my webcam, but never mind. The things is quite explicit, so I'm just not gonna explain it right here. And then you have the last part, which is like this pane on the right, and you can see that you have right here the backlinks that you can see. So if, for example, I put a link towards Untitled on the test note, I will see that I've got a backlink. But we will see that in just a sec. I wanted to go too fast. So this was for the general interface. We're going to end with the settings now that we've seen some general concepts. So general is quite interesting. Whenever you need to go from live preview to source mode, you can do it here. And then you have some sort of some stuff. I will just encourage you to activate this thing if it's not enabled. Fold indent and fold heading. This way, if for example you want to collapse stuff, if you want to collapse, for example, this under this, you can just do it with the little arrow that appears here. And at the same, if you want to do this and then retract stuff, you can just do it. For example, if you're a student, you can just put what is Obsidian, and you can just put not taking software and you can just collapse it and just, oh, what is Obsidian? Interesting. Well, it's a note-taking software. Is it? Oh yeah, it's a note-taking software. Okay, move on to the next question. So this is quite an interesting option, and the rest is kind of pointless to view right here. This is also kind of pointless, just which is quite interesting. This you need to put shortest path when possible. It's quite interesting because this way, when you do this, when you have links inside of folders, you won't have folders slash folder slash folder slash name of the note. You will just have name of the note. And then if you want to create notes in a specific location, in a specific folder, because once you have a lot of notes, you see, like for example, in my, I've got like more than 3,000. I don't want all of the new 3,000 notes to be right here. I want everything to be stored in specific folders. So for example, whenever I create a new note, I want to say it goes directly into my inbox and then I sort it, for example. And you can do this here by saying default location for new notes, and you specify a folder right here. Appearance, this is really interesting. You have a lot of themes in Obsidian. You can just go into the community themes and install, for example, right here, the thing theme, and it will just change the appearance, and you can just find the one you like. Oh, this one is quite cute, actually. I'm just gonna keep it. Hotkeys, this is just the shortcuts. I will show you some of them later, but obviously edit them as you wish. The account, you can just connect your account if you have it. About, we don't care. Account, core plugins. So yeah, Obsidian, you can just plug a lot of stuff in it, a lot of plugins. So wait, I'm just gonna change the appearance. Oops, sorry. Because it's it's more easy for you to like get your repairs, your I don't know how to call it. So the plugin list right here. So those are the main plugins. So let's look at them quickly. The tag pane is really useful. It's basically to add a new pane right here, which is the tag pane next to the backlinks. And when you have some tags inside of your software, you can just see them all right here. For example, if I just click on script, it will make a search for me for every note in which there is a script. You have also the calendar plugin, but this is not in the main plugins, I guess. Daily notes, interesting. It's creating for you automatically a note with the name of the day. Template, really, really interesting. We'll see that in more details after. Render notes, outline. This is not really interesting, actually. Not what I thought it was. Publish sync, if you bought the option, is here that you can add it. Community plugins, then disable safe mode, turn off safe mode. Don't worry about this, it's shitty stuff. Don't have risk for them. And then you can just browse the community plugins. I would encourage you to click to, this is like a mandatory thing. Advanced table is just so useful, so just click here and install. Calendar, the same. Kanban is quite useful. It allows you to do boards like this. For example, I've got all of my content that is just right here in this content dashboard. And whenever this is my ideas, this is like what I'm going to do in this month, and what is published this month. So whenever I finish something, I can drag, and I can also write stuff in the stuff. So this templater, outliner, you have to install it. It's really useful. It allows you to add a better list and to like move items with comments. It's a really useful thing. Sliding pans is also quite useful. And we'll see that in more depth after. But yeah, you can just start with those plugins and they will be useful. All right, and then you have all of the plugin options in the back, but I'm not just gonna see that right now. So now that we've seen the general interface, let's see how to format text. So I'm just gonna create a new note, for example, right here, which is format text. This is a great tutorial. So Obsidian uses something that we call Markdown. Markdown is a syntax to say basically to your computer, I want a title. And so you have a syntax, a small code that you put before your title that will say to the computer, whenever you want to preview the note, to export the note, this must be a title and put a title. Maybe it wasn't clear. I'm just going to explain by demonstrating. If I want a title, the code in Markdown is just putting an hashtag. You just put the code and you just put title. Whenever, for example, I'm writing some stuff. If I want to underline, for example, this is very, sorry, I'm French actually. This is very important. You can just do this, paste Command B to put in bold, and then you will have just right here the two asterisks that will be put on both sides. You can also put them manually if you want, and this will tell to the software, okay, this is something that is bold. And if you can also put the stuff into italic, so for example with only one. And you can also put a smaller title by putting 3 hashtags in front. So this is 3, and you can just put a small title. And there you go. And you can also put some sort of code. If you're a coder, you can just put this up and this like this. You can put code, and it won't be format even if you put this in front. Yeah, it's like Markdown. You can learn some of the syntax. I would encourage you to go right here online into the official help site, and I guess they have something about Markdown, or maybe not. Format your notes, yeah, this page right here, and you can see all of the list of headings and faces. So you see italic, you see bold, the list, how to do a list. So basically if you put like a smaller line, you can just put then stuff. If you indent stuff, you can put it under. You can also fold the list as we saw earlier, and if you use the outline tool, if you have things, you can just move them around. You have the list, then you have the images. So how to put an images or a link, we'll see that in just a sec actually. The links, the internal links, the blog quotes, the stuff. So you can just look at things. Yeah, this is quite interesting actually. The task list. So you can just put this right here. And this will create a task. So you basically put a line, space, one bracket, the other bracket, space. This is how to do a task box. Table also. Strike through and highlighting with two smaller equal signs. And so yeah, this is basically everything you can do with Markdown. It's a really useful syntax. The basic stuff basically that I'm using all of the time is italic, bold, title. You have 5 levels of title. If you put 5 hashtags, it's the smallest. If you put only 1, it's the biggest. So you can do that also. The list I use all of the time. Also, if I want to, for example, put some sort of highlights on something, you can put 2 equals around it, and then we'll see now how to actually create links between nodes. So by creating links in Obsidian, so bidirectional links, you're creating some sort of link as Wikipedia, but bidirectional, meaning you can view which node is linked to you and obviously what links you have on you. So how to create a link inside of Obsidian between 2 nodes or 2 type of content? You just put 2 brackets, and then you will see you have the smaller pop-up that will appear, and you can just, for example, link it right here to test, and the link is made basically. So if you click on it, you will just go into the test node, and if you go into the test node, you can see that you have a backlink coming from the format text node. So this is how you use links, and how to do this little symbol right here. If you're on Mac, it's Option Shift and 5, the opening like this. And if you're on Windows, I guess it's Alt-GR and the same symbol, this. And so this is how to do the brackets like this to put it. If you only want to do a link to something, you can obviously just select the link and put it right here. Or you can also just put something for example, I'm just going to put, this is a formatting. And then I just put this. And whenever I put inform, you will see like only formatting, and you will see the link behind it. So this is another cool stuff to know to do links. And if I just put an exclamation dot before, it will just preview whatever is here. So if you have an image, for example, in the note, it will preview the image. Also, if you put the note, and you put an exclamation mark before it, it will preview the note under it. So this is quite a useful feature too. So this is how to link different notes between them. And now we're finally going to see the shortcuts to learn first. And I think after, you will have a brief understanding of the software and you will be able to use it as you wish. So the first one is Command P or Control P, which is basically all the hotkeys you will be able to define right here. Either you know them by heart or you don't know them by heart, and this way you can just look for whatever you want to do. For example, if I want to do the calendar or the command palette or anything, or the file path, you can just click here and do enter and it's copied. You know, it's like the shortcuts list, Command P. Command P is basically if you don't want to remember anything, you can just remember Command P and you will have access to all of the other shortcuts. Command O. Command O allows you to open this, which is the quick switcher, which is again not the same as the search right here. Command Option P allows you to move forward and backward. So as you can see right here, I'm just navigate back, navigate forward. I think, yeah, those two buttons do the same if you want. Obviously, the other one is Command N to create a new note, or Command Shift N to create a new note right here. And as the same way as Command Shift N allows you to create a note in a new pen that you can obviously redimension and move behind, to the left, to the right, to the top, right here, or anywhere. Whenever you see a link and you want to go, you can just click, and this will bring you to the link, or you can Command click, and this will open it in a new tab. This is like the small subtlety, Command click. And then you have Command F, which allows you to find something, Command Shift F, that allows you to search quickly here, and Command Option F to find and replace. Those are like features that you use often in a text software. And then Command G, that allows you to see the graph view. It's always useful to impress your buddies and your friends, to show them that you're really intelligent and you have a really amazing graph view right here that is full with knowledge and stuff. Okay, so that was the Obsidian tutorial. I hope you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video.